Let's first still look a little bit back at the game of Saturday. How were you living this game? Where were you during the game? Because I think you were running around the stadium. Is it true?
Yeah, I was watching the first half from the players' tunnel, but then for the second half I went to Tribune 3 for part of the second half, part of the first half and part of the second half. And then I went back to the bar at the corner to watch the game KV Mechelen Eupen, and then went between Tribune 1 and Tribune 2 to watch some of the second half, then back to the tunnel. So it was quite a journey watching this game.
You planned this because you wanted to follow also this other game?
No, I didn't plan it, but it was something I did at the time to also take the stress a little bit out of myself, because sitting and watching one game between the supporters and the delegates of the club sometimes stresses you a little bit. So moving around was a kind of putting the stress away.
The last 5 minutes, I had the impression that you were pretty relaxed, that you were...
yeah, I was smiling like it was finished, huh?
Yes.
Because I thought it was finished, because yeah, when I knew that Charleroi, that Westerlo scored a goal in Charleroi, and then that KV Mechelen scored the second goal against Eupen, then I thought it's going to be very surprising that also Club Brugge can score a goal at Lierse. And then I saw at the last few seconds of the game, it was more of Lierse controlling the game, and it was all the game was on that side of the pitch. So when the game was stopping and it was already the extra time, the added time, the ball was with us all the time, and then I was sure it's going to be a great night.
Yes. And it probably was also a great night after the game, because finally relief and time to party.
Yeah. First real party at Lierse this year. Maybe second, because the first was after we won against KV Mechelen. That was also a very important game for us. Those 3 points made quite a big difference. And thanks to KV Mechelen again, they supported us by winning Eupen last Sunday. So that also shows that football is a nice game. Things can happen in a very strange way, and rivals can help each other saved, or can push each other to lower divisions. I think it was before when KV Mechelen pushed Lierse back into second division. And now they managed to help Lierse stay, and that's the nice thing about football. So yeah, thank you, KV Mechelen.
Yes, and we will meet them again in playoff 2, which is also nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be good for the football that there are 2 more Lierse KV Mechelen games in a season. So 4 games is not too much between 2 clubs like Lierse and KV Mechelen. It creates lots of sphere in the game. I really enjoyed both games. The game at KV Mechelen was also an enjoyable game. The sphere was great.
Yes. Could you ever have imagined, for sure not in the beginning of the season, that it all would come down to the last 5 minutes of the last game?
Yeah, of course not. I wished that we would have been saved a little bit earlier, and it was in our hands to do that. But due to lots of circumstances, I don't want to speak about it now, that our saving happened just in the last 5 minutes of the 31st games of the competition. But I think that Lierse deserved to have at least 6 or 7 more points at least in their total. If you look to a club like STVV, they are with 5 points more than us and 6 goals less than us scored. They only scored 20 goals in 30 games, and they have 6 points more or 5 points more than us. That's unbelievable. And if it shows something, it shows that we were too unlucky this year, because we should have been really with at least 6 or 7 more points. So I think it's not very easy that you take 3 coaches and succeed at the end. That's not a good way of succeeding. So if you can get 3 coaches because the circumstances pushes you to do so, and succeed, then that's then you have made the right choices exactly at the right time.
What do you think are the chances that we can keep Trond Solid?
The chances that we keep Trond Solid is that he decides to stay, because we want him to stay.
Yes. But of course, also by achieving this aim with Lierse, he will get more attention.
Of course, but Trond doesn't need to work at Lierse to get attention from the football clubs. He's well known in lots of places in the world. It doesn't add a lot to his CV that he saved Lierse. Maybe when he wins a title for Lierse, that would be something to count, that he would be proud to put on his CV. We still have playoffs to play. It's a competition in itself. You play a group of six with 6 games, and when you win it, that's already something you achieve. If you are playing the final game against the other group champion, that's another competition or another championship. If you can win it also, then it's another thing. So he has got some potential to win something still this year. It also depends what else can he do after the end of the year. If he has got offers from bigger clubs, then I have to see what will his decision be. So Trond is a great coach. We love him and trust him a lot, and we like the way he is working, and the players love his system and his attitude. But again, as I say, it's all up to him if he wants to stay. We hope it.
What should the aim be for Lierse in this playoff too?
This is something also that must be done really in a very good balance, because now we have to know that we have the chance, we have a big chance to get another achievement in playoffs with playoffs too. We need to play some nice games and win some points and have some parties at Lierse. We will play at least 3 more home games at the stadium, and that's a chance for 3 nice parties after the game. When you have a party after the game, it means you get 3 points in your pocket also. And we have to work on that, but also we have to work on seeing the players and who is the coach intending to keep for a longer period of time if he decides to stay with Lierse. So also we would love to see some of our youth players getting a chance to play in the next games, because then we can know where is the potential of in our youth players. I'm so happy when we have more players from the region, because this gives more meaning for what we are doing and for the fan base that we want to bring around this nice club.
Yes. We heard this also already from Eric in a reportage about the new scouting for next year, that indeed your focus will be more on Belgian players.
Yeah, of course we have to insist now on bringing more Belgian players, also because of the rule that will be implemented from next year. Now I think we have in our active squad something around 13, 14 Belgian players, and I think that maybe some of them might not be there next year, so it might go down to maybe 11 or 10 or 9, I don't know. Then we have to think a lot before we bring in new players to make sure that we also keep the balance of Belgium versus non-Belgian players, because you need at least 44% of your squad to be Belgian players, because it's also if you divide 8 by 18, it's 44%. So you need always to keep 44% of your squad Belgian players.
Yes, some of our players are finishing their contract this year. I suppose that now, together with also technical director, you are discussing about this, what to do with them?
Uh, yeah, but we have to start discussing. We did not start discussing yet, but we have to start discussing this in the next period. We still have 1.5 months to play playoffs too. So in this 1.5 months, we will be talking about those issues, and we will be trying to decide for ourselves what we want to do for next year.
Um, if I may say, in the media these last days, you sound more careful. How come?
I mean, that's. Yeah, you get careful when you turn to be careful when you slip down in something and you're not happy with it, then you want to not repeat it again. And I think that in lots of interviews in the past, I have been so promising to my supporters, and sometimes I was expecting more at shorter periods, and that didn't work this year. But I'm not regretting the season. I'm happy with what I got as an end result for the season, because it's also a very good learning method for myself and for all the club. Now we will go into first division next year with more focus and more experience and less mistakes, and we will try to have a very good start from the beginning, so that we have a more calm season than this season.
Is that one of the most important lessons that we can take out of this season? I suppose this is a season that you can learn from.
Yeah, it was one of the greatest ways I can learn a lot about how I have to do my job, and now I will be intending more to bring in more of Belgium young quality players, and I will be also keen on controlling the budgets of the club and trying to decrease the expenditure of the club, decreasing the budget a little bit. And I'm sure that this is the right way now to handle this project until it turns to be one of my most profit-making projects.
One last question: the accommodation for Liers. Will there be changes in this stadium? Will there be changes also for the training center, because you are building a new thing in Maged Samy?
Yeah, the project in Maged Samy remains going on, so it's still under construction, and probably we hope that our team can move there from the beginning of next season. Here in the stadium, there might be some changes in Tribune 4, the visitors' tribune. That's the only change that might occur this year, and probably we are going to also make another change. So we are thinking of taking off the heating system from the pitch and playing with no heating system, because it looked like it's not essential. Because now Charleroi can play tonight a game against Cercle Brugge. Due to the heating system, this game was cancelled, but now it has to be played again. So maybe we can sell this heating system and bring one new player instead. That was a joke, of course.
Of course.